Here is part number 2 of the 23-point rescue audit that's gone viral on my LinkedIn profile. This is all about Amazon advertising. My name is Vadim, the founder of PPC Jumpstart. We work with 6, 7-figure brands and rising solar founders, helping them with their Amazon advertising. I'm recording this video in a little quiet space now because it's night, but I wanted to get you guys out the second part of this system. Just to recap, if you have not watched the first video of this series, check it out here. There will be a link here taking to the first part where I discuss the first section of this video. What we've discussed so far is setting up the campaign structure for Amazon PPC, how to set this up, what kind of naming to use, campaign times, how to organize match types, how to eliminate wasted ad spend, harvesting performing search terms, and negative keyword strategy. In this video, we'll dive deep into bidding and budget optimizations. Now, that's probably the most important thing when it comes to your Amazon advertising. People use tools for that, people use AI. I personally use AdLabs. It's not an automation software, but it helps a lot to optimize all the actions in bulk. So let's talk about this specific terminology when it comes to Amazon PPC. You can have 3 bidding strategies in Amazon PPC, such as dynamic bids only, dynamic up and down, and fixed bids. Now, from years of experience managing Amazon advertising, what I've come to conclusion is fixed bidding is the best way to move forward. And the biggest reason is that that's the only way you can control where your bid shows up. Now there is 3 different placements, as you know. And typically top of search and rest of search tend to convert much better than product pages. So without fixed bidding, your ads will be all over the place and you could be triggering product pages, the one that converts the lowest. And what I said here is that it does have precise control. I just realized I was not sharing my screen. But this is generally the section that I was going to review. So this is what we discussed before, and now we're discussing bidding and budget optimization. So fixed bidding is where you'll have your control. This is the best way this is the best strategy to use when managing your Amazon advertising. Now let's talk about placement optimization, and this is what comes out from this bidding strategy. Now there is 3 different placements. Typically, anytime you launch campaign, you'll have pre-default placement optimizations such as 50% on top of search and 25% on rest of search. Now I do it historically because they tend to convert the best, so we already give those default settings to these placements. For your ranking campaigns or any hero keywords, typically you would have 100% top of search added for them, just for the purpose of getting highest converting traffic and highest click-through rate, which all helps with ranking campaigns. Now, when it comes to bid optimization, so there is different schools of thoughts. Some people do it daily, some people do it weekly. Now I think it really depends on the size of your account. Typically it's done twice a week, involving the following process. So there is going to be different tiers when you manage advertising. So processes, data analysis, performance categorizations. You'll have different tiers where your campaigns are performing really well or they're just way above the target. So based on these tiers, you'll decide how aggressive you are going to be in optimizing these campaigns. Anything with 100% ACOS, where your average ACOS is 30%, and unless it's a ranking campaign, isn't going to need that much investment, and you'll typically aggressively optimize it down. Now, tools for scale, I really don't recommend any automated rules here, and you would only use anything with bulk optimizations or any certain party management tool that allows you to take actions in bulk. So I still recommend you review every bid changes by yourself. Now for accounts we manage with $1 million in revenue and say like 100,000 in ad spend a month. Of course, I'm not suggesting you look at every single bid change because there is going to be thousands of them every week, but you still need to categorize the campaigns based on the goal and the type, ranking, profit, etc., and just still have some oversight in what you're doing, not totally leaving it up to a software. Now, even the more important part of this whole system is how you manage budgets. So this is really the budget management, and I highly recommend you don't use any automation here. Now, There are 3 different issues you can run into. You can have budget capped campaigns, runs out of budget midday, so the solution is pretty much simply increasing the budget. And you do it based on the ROAS. If it's a high ROAS campaign, you'll go ahead and you increase the budget typically by like 150 to 200%, slowly, gradually increasing that budget. Anything with high ACOS or something that couldn't get optimized for some reason for the last 7 days, you won't give it as much budget, so it will be capped at $15-20 a day. Now, the important point here is branded campaigns, they should never run out of budget and they should always be working, no day parting involved, etc., which is going to be my next point. I don't recommend you guys use portfolio budgets because it's, first of all, it's hard to manage it. You need to go there and you change it daily. However, what I do recommend is you use campaign budgets to control it, but at the same time ensure that your most important campaigns, your high ROAS campaigns, they don't cap out and they keep spending throughout the day. Now, day parting is an interesting topic. So what I find it actually is useful on the large accounts I manage. And performance with and without day parting, it could actually be very big drop in performance if the day parting is not used. Now, another clear pattern I'm seeing is any B2B business selling to large stores, companies, you must be using day parting. And the simplest case of this is just turning off ads outside of business hours. And that's been a huge helper in some of the accounts I manage that are primarily B2B oriented. So about this point, highways during off-peak hours, typically any product you sell on Amazon, it is not going to sell as well as during the night as well as compared to during the day. So the conversion is going to be a lot lower. I recommend you pause ads at night. Now, you can check this by downloading reports that are called campaign hourly reports. So analyze hourly performance data, test conservative schedules first, monitor total sales impact, and adjust based on the result. Now, when it comes to managing products, for catalogs with 50 products, I recommend you focus on your 20% of your catalog first, the one that produces 80% of results. You fix that, you fix the structure, you give it enough ad spend before you start worrying about this struggling products or the products that are losing money. So 80% of the budget should go to top 20% of products, and this should be the rule for any Amazon business, regardless of the size. Now, ACOS-TACOS balance, I really recommend you guys don't consider your ACOS as a primary metric for a number of reasons. So TACOS is the net profit, ACOS is just how your ads are performing. Now, good performance doesn't always mean that the business is growing. You know, there is often times that I audit accounts, people are trying to optimize for the lowest ACO as possible, ACOS. So what happens is they use automation software and suddenly, you know, business is down 20% next month. So what happens is that automation software is freaking out, seeing 25% ACOS and keeps bidding less and less until they optimize for this tiny ACOS number, but the business sales are actually down. So it is important to treat ACOS as a secondary metric, and TACOS is basically your North Star when it comes to ads management.